Good day all, welcome back to Cruisin Classics YouTube channel. Today we have for you a very special treat. A 1990 Chevy Corvette ZR1. These are rare birds. If you know them, you'll understand just why this one is so cool. Back in 1990 when Chevy started making the ZR1s, they made 3,032 of them, which was almost half of the total 6-year production run of ZR1s, all in that first year. Out of that 3,032 ZR1s, they only made 181 in this dark red metallic that looks just beautiful. Spectacular paint, all original paint. You have to look really hard to find any little nicks on it at all. It is absolutely gorgeous. Looks like it's hardly been driven because it has hardly been driven. What makes a ZR1 so special is it's got 2,792 miles on the odometer. That's right, just 2,792 miles. It's got the iconic pop-up headlights up front and the aero vents on the front fender. Staggered wheels and tires on this one. This is one of the things that makes this actually noticeably different than a regular C4 Corvette. It has a wider back end, and we'll get back here in a second. I'll really show you the details of it. The front, you got P275s. On the back, P315s. And they are really nice looking wheels. Wrapped in Goodyear Eagle tires. Body colored side mirrors. And back here, these are the big back ones. And hiding back behind there are some huge rotors. It's hard to see with the lighting back in there, but an ABS brake system designed by Bosch. Up front, you've got 13-inch rotors, and you've got 12-inch in the back. It'll definitely stop the car, no doubt about that. A couple things to note. This car does come with 2 target tops. This is the tinted glass one. And over on the table there is the body color one. I'll show you that in more detail in a moment. Glass is of course super clear on the car, although it is tinted pretty dark on the side and back windows. It's a good car for driving around on a hot summer day. It'll keep you cool inside. Back here you can really get a sense of just how dark the tint is. It's tough to see through it. You can also see it has rear defrost, that high third brake light, and a power antenna. Breaking up all that red as you move around the car is a piece of black body molding that kind of wraps all the way around the car. Kind of separates that red a little bit. Now back here at the back, this is one of the things that really made this car look different. Aside from the wider hips there at the rear tire area and the rear quarters, it has a convex, not concave rear end. So instead of swooping inward, it swoops outward, kind of like a bulge. And the tail lights changed and got a little more square as opposed to round. And this followed suit later on with other Corvettes as the C4s moved on into the 90s. But in 1990, a regular C4 would have a concave back end and round tail lights, whereas the ZR1s had this slightly different look to let you know it was a different vehicle. The only ZR1 badging on the exterior, right down here. To the casual observer, they might not catch that it's a ZR1, but boy, when you go tearing out of that light, they're gonna know. Got some great exhaust back here. As you can see, we've got 2 on one side, 2 on the other, beautiful gleaming chrome, and they emit one heck of a nice burble when this baby's fired up. Still looks like a showroom new car. No doubt about that. I mean, with less than 3,000 miles on the odometer, it sure looks like it's been babied and pampered its entire life. I'm going to turn around real quick here and give you a glimpse of the solid target top, which is in excellent condition. Not a scratch on it. We just took it out so that you could see it better as opposed to having it in the rear cargo area of the car. Absolutely beautiful C4. Now that we're back up front, I'll pause briefly. We'll come back and we'll have the hood open because that's where the real meat and potatoes is on this car. And we are back with the 1990 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1. We've got the hood open now to reveal this insanely clean engine bay. Clean as a pin, all tidy, everything bone stock underneath. Looking absolutely gorgeous. Looks like a new car that just rolled out of the showroom to me. This LT5 engine is definitely the crowning glory, the cherry on top of this sundae. It is an all aluminum block, all aluminum heads, 32 valve, 4 overhead cam, V8, 5.7 liter. This engine is 375 horsepower, 370 foot-pounds of torque. It is a monster. It's got 11-to-1 compression, holds 12 quarts of oil. It'll do 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds and run a 13.4 second quarter mile, according to the literature at the time. And I'm imagining with just 2,700 miles on the odometer, this one will still do all that. This motor was a joint effort by Lotus and GM, and I'm sure they're pretty proud by what they did. Their goal that they set out for themselves was to create the fastest production sports car in the world, and at the time, I do believe they actually achieved it. It's not by today's standards, but it sure was back in 1990. And what makes this all even better is they did everything right on this one. GM paired up with Bosch, put that great braking system in here that I talked about earlier. Bilstein, the folks who make shocks, joined up with the folks who do racing for Lotus, and they designed the F3 road handling system for this car. It's got 3 different modes you can put it in with 6 different damping settings for each mode. It'll read what you're doing, it'll read the road, it'll read your speed, and it'll adjust the suspension accordingly. Very, very cool. They really did set out to make a supercar in 1990, and they did a good job achieving it. The ZR1s are legendary, and with good reason. And again, what a fine example of one we have here today. Super clean everywhere you look, even down in the nooks and crannies. Just a beautiful, beautiful car. And boy, that engine, that's what it's all about there. Let's take a peek inside. When you open up the door, you're greeted by a gorgeous black interior. Courtesy lights all pop on just as they should. We'll start with the door panels. Everything in here is like new. There's just no wear anywhere here. And a car of this caliber, as you would expect, we got power locks, power mirrors, power windows. The seats are absolutely gorgeous. They really hug you. You feel like you are in a fighter jet when you're sitting in these. Look at the bottom. No wear. Bolster in excellent condition, and this is the primary wear spot on one of these seats, is this bolster, and it looks great. Now, we're good at telling you the one little thing or 2 little things that are wrong with the car. On this one, it is right here. Somebody getting into the car at some point cracked this, and it's easy to do. As you can see, you slide right across this as you move into the seat, and it's just the casing of it that's cracked. The switches still do what they're supposed to and operate correctly, but they need a new cover plate. Minor demerit on such a cool car. Give you a little shot of the back portion there. That's the rear cargo area. You can see it does have a cover you can pull forwards, and like a privacy screen, if you will. And it has the usual 2 compartments in the back, like any Corvette, where you can store things. You can also see the speakers hiding back there that go to this killer sound system that's in this car. I'm going to go ahead and hop on in. Oh man, these seats are just awesome in this car. I'll move the wheel down a little bit. It is a tilt wheel. I'll give you a shot of the passenger side. Like I said, the door card over there is just like the driver's side. Power on the passenger seat, just like the driver's side. And you'll see that these are not cracked. They look great. Seat looks great. Bolster's in excellent condition. In the center here, we have the usual armrest with storage box. And inside of that, you'll find the tool for the T-tops and your lock nut remover. These are other seat controls here. These will move the seats forward and backward, as you can see. They'll also tilt the seats. You can see everything works. In the center here is the ride control, where you can switch between Touring, Sport, and Performance. And that's what I was talking about Bill Steen and Lotus working on together for this car. Here we've got the 6-speed leather-wrapped shifter. A little hidden compartment for an ashtray, cup holder, and lighter. And moving on up the dash, this is the Delco Bose Gold stereo system. It's hard to say and not botch it. It's really an impressive stereo system for the time. It's AM, FM, and with a cassette and a CD. Really neat and a sign of the times. In 1990, everybody was changing over from cassettes to CDs, and this stereo accommodated both. Right above it, we've got the HVAC controls, cranking out ice cold AC, hot heat, strong fan, rear defrost. It's easy to use and it works just great. Above it here is a trip monitor, or trip computer as you may call it. That'll figure out your gas mileage, tell you how long you've been driving. It'll do your gas mileage at the moment, gas mileage average, etc. Now you can see here by the layout that it kind of starts here at this armrest and moves forward, swoops up and around. It's definitely a driver-centric cockpit, no doubt about it. You can see the arch here over the gauge area, much like you'd find in an old C2. It's almost like an homage to those C2s. I'm going to turn the lights on real quick. I want to have you see that the headlights actually work. There they go. And you see the gauge come on. In the center, you've got the digital screen. Shut my door to shut that up. You got the digital screen in the center, the tachometer, and then your standard gauges over here for oil pressure, oil temperature, water temperature, and voltage. And looking ahead, you can see on this stalk, we've got cruise control, we've got intermittent wipers, type of things you'd expect on a car of this caliber. Real nice steering wheel, stitched leather, great hand feel to it, nice and firm, very enjoyable. Over on the passenger side, aside from the cool seat and the door features, all you've got is a glove box. But in that glove box are a couple really cool things. First of which is a cassette tape, which came with the car from new and actually tells you how all the systems of the car work. While you're driving it around, you can learn how to use it. It's such a cool little extra to find in here. I'd be real happy to listen to that. Next up is the original owner's manual for the vehicle. And inside, you've got some original hang tags from back when the car was brand new and delivered by the dealer. So I will leave both of those in here for the future owner. Hope it's you. And as we move back over, I'm going to go ahead and get the keys out of my pocket. I'm dying for you to hear this LT5 crank up. All right, here we go. Fuel injected, didn't have to pump it. Starts up like a champ. Radio pops right on. Everything works. What a cool car. Let me give it a rev or two here for you. Oh man, that sounds nice. Let's get out and give it a listen back at the tailpipes, as well as up front under the hood. Oh, listen to that baby purr. So quiet right now, but as soon as you get on that gas, all the power comes out. 375 horses, 370 pound-feet of torque. What an awesome machine, and a rare one too. Only 181 of these in this color for 1990. It is a 1990 Corvette ZR1. Folks, if you've got any questions about this car, please give us a call. Here in Columbus at Cruisin Classics, our number is 614-276-7355. We're happy to help you with this car or any other in our inventory. We can help you get financing, and we can help with transport from our garage to your garage in an enclosed carrier. Again, we're at Cruisin Classics, 614-276-7355. And we've got this 2,792 actual miles ZR1 just waiting for you to come and take home and put in your garage. Give us a call today. This one surely won't last long. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back again tomorrow with something else cool.